Hi, everybody. Are you ready for some uplifting news? Hi, everybody. This is Alex Elkin coming to you live, streaming on three different platforms right now. We've got our Facebook Live, we've got Instagram Live, and hey, out there to all my followers on YouTube, appreciate you tuning in and checking this out tonight. Um, I'm calling this the Upside. We're calling it the Upside because we need some uplifting news in this world right now. There's a lot of bullshit going on. Everybody's kind of scared and worried about what's happening with this coronavirus. And there's so much bad news out there. There's so much negativity, and everybody telling you that the life is ending and the world is turning to shit. Uh, that I thought maybe I would come out and do a stream with you live tonight, and just I don't know, bring some uplifting news. So, welcome to the Upside. Welcome to the Upside, everybody. This is Alex Elkin, coming at you live from the studios here in my very own garage. Want to say hi to everybody on Facebook tonight. Want to say hi to everybody on Instagram, and hello to my followers there on YouTube. This is going to be a regular thing that I'm going to be trying to do here, and I've got some cool things for you tonight. We've got a lot of things to talk about on the Upside. We've got worldwide news. We've got national news. We've got local news for anybody that's maybe here in Oregon and wants to get some uplifting news that's happening here. So we're going to be bringing you all those things. We've got comedian Roman Guzman, who we're going to be looking at, and we're going to critique his comedy video together. And I thought that would be a little bit of fun because it's always fun to shit on somebody else and see how they're doing when they're not doing that great. So we're going to do this together. We're going to do it all at once here. So I want to thank you for joining me. Feel free to take a moment and share with your friends so they know that we are live and we're really doing this. Hey Jeff, and hey Kaz, good to see you guys. Welcome. Beth, good to see you. Live free, die happy. And what's up, Beth? Yes, Fat Jesus plays the piano. And you're listening to Alex Elkin doing the Upside. Welcome, everybody, to the Upside. Thank you. Got my lovely assistant who has brought me my drink. Tonight, we're drinking a little bit of Canadian blended whiskey with some Dr. Pepper because Canadian blended whiskey is shit. And you might as well drink it with something that's not so shitty. So we're drinking it with Dr. Pepper. Everybody get yourself a drink. We got a couple of things we're going to talk about tonight. First of all, just want to welcome you and say thanks for joining me here. We're going to be spending the next hour together talking about good news and uplifting stuff. The world is not on fire. We're doing okay. We're going to be okay. There's people getting sick, and there's people healing other people, which is a good thing. We always want the healers out there, the healers and the helpers. So let's take a drink and let's get into it. First of all, we have got this coronavirus that is just taking over. Everybody's talking about it. Everybody's got something to say about it. Everybody's got an opinion about it. Screw them. They don't know shit. I do want to say I've got three items here that'll give you a little bit of uplifting news about the coronavirus. Number one, pollution. Right? Everybody's worried about pollution. We're screwing up the environment with cows farting. And oh, good for you, Kat. You're getting another nephew tomorrow. The cars are producing pollution. Nations are producing pollution. Well, guess what? Some reports are estimating that China's quarantine has actually saved more than 100 million metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions. China is actually doing something good with this horrible disease that they've given us. Hi, Tammy. I don't know if you guys, I mean, we buy a lot of products out of China. And I got to tell you, this coronavirus is probably the most durable thing that's ever come out of China that's lasted as long as anything I've ever bought from China, because it really seems to be working and spreading around. But the good side, the upside is that it is actually cutting down on carbon dioxide emissions. That's a good thing. See, the carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere at the equivalent of what Chile produces in a year in China. But not only have similar effects been reported in China, but also in Italy and other countries. So people staying inside is actually doing some good for the environment because they're not out there in their cars and they're not in planes and they're not damaging the environment with the pollution and carbon emissions. So that's kind of an upside to this whole thing, if you think about it. Number two, this is an interesting thing. Distilleries across America right now have switched over from not just making terrible Scotch whiskey out of Canada, they've actually started creating hand sanitizer. Now, I don't know if you're aware of this, but hand sanitizer is basically rubbing alcohol and aloe vera mixed together. And as long as it kills the germs, who cares? You go from 40 proof to 60 proof, boom, you got hand sanitizer. So a lot of these distilleries across the United States are making their own hand sanitizers to give away for free amidst these national shortages. And alcohol distilleries in Atlanta, right here in Portland, Oregon, rural Georgia, and North Carolina have begun using their facilities and factories to make their own sanitation products. Hey, you know what? If there's something we can find in this whole mess and find a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of silver lining to these clouds, I say let's get on it. You know, making hand sanitizer at alcohol factories. Hey, you know what? I'll drink to that. Here's something that's actually good, really good news on the medical side of this COVID-19, everybody. U.S. researchers deliver the first COVID-19 vaccine to volunteers in experimental test program. Scientists at Kaiser Permanente, Washington Research Institute in Seattle have delivered the first rounds of a potential coronavirus vaccine. And they've given it to several dozen optimistic volunteers earlier this week. One 43-year-old named Jennifer Haller, who is a mother of two teenagers, was all smiles afterwards when they gave her the vaccine. She said she's feeling great. She's leaving the clinic. And she said, this is an amazing opportunity for me to do something good for the world. Right now she's the world's guinea pig, and she's doing something wonderful for everybody by taking the bullet and trying this new vaccine. I think that's pretty amazing. Good for her, and we want to wish the best to Jennifer out there in beautiful Seattle. That's good news. That's good news. You know, this coronavirus, it's not all negative doom and gloom. Not everybody's getting it, and not everybody's dying from it. Okay. Kat brings up the point that she's surprised that somebody with kids would do this. Well, you know, it's a two-edged sword, Kat. Think about it. I mean, you've got kids that you need to protect. You need to be you want to make them safe. When you're a parent, you want to protect your kids from everything, but you can't. But if you can take that small step and put yourself out there and protect them from something that possibly could be the cure, you know, that takes balls. So hats off to you, Jennifer. Hats off to you. That's really good news. I think that's great. More uplifting news in the international scene. Let's look at the world. Right now, we've got a lot of what's called scaremongering. Okay, a lot of people are getting just constant media hitting you in the face of negativity, and this is bad and that is bad and it's getting worse and it's only going to get worse, and our government right now is sitting on the floor of the House trying to decide well, they're sitting in Congress trying to decide whether or not they're going to give people money. And the Republicans are throwing in slush funds, and it's going to be for corporations. And the Democrats are putting in more pork than an Oscar Mayer convention. And and nobody can agree on anything. And the American people, you and I, we're just sitting here kind of twiddling our thumbs going, okay, when do we get to go back to work? Well, this is causing a lot of tension, and we're hearing a lot of this bad stuff. But this scaremongering is turning into caremongering, and it's happening right here in beautiful Canada. We're giving it up for Canada's caremongering, because a group in Toronto have gotten together, and they've got actually 35 Facebook groups for caremongering right now, and they're helping out people in Canada during the coronavirus epidemic in Halifax, Ottawa, Ontario, and Annapolis County, Nova Scotia. People are joining the groups to either ask for help or ask to help. That's a great thing. That's a great thing. 2 trillion got passed. No. It hasn't passed. It hasn't passed yet. They didn't pass that yet. They're still fighting about it. I was looking at the news 2 hours ago, and they're still arguing over the details, because they don't want X amount of people to get a bunch of money, and they don't want they don't want somebody to get too much money, and then somebody's not going to get enough money, and of course Congress has to put in a raise for themselves, So anyway, but in Canada right now, they are about 30,000 caremongers, as they're calling themselves, of these 35 groups of the Candemic, has served to reinforce the image of the Canadian kindness. They're creating care packages for people to offer goods, services, for people that are trapped into self-isolation. It's a good thing. So they're creating, food and resources and things that people can use, and delivering them to their doorsteps. Of course, keeping 6 feet apart from everybody. But it's a good thing. Um, you can that you can read and find out that there really are. It's like Mr. Rogers says, there really are helpers out there. Roman, good to see you, buddy. We're going to get to your video in just a little bit, and we're going to critique you live together. Uh, Now, remember, if you're on Facebook and you don't have friends on Facebook, you got friends on Instagram. Hi, Instagram. Or if you got friends on YouTube, hi, YouTube. We are streaming live from all 3 channels right now. You can go either to Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube to stream the Upside tonight with Alex Elkin. That's good news out of Canada. That's good news out of Canada. The caremongering, creating care packages. If you want to help, you can of course take a look at some of their groups. They've got hashtags going around: hashtag offer, hashtag shops, and you can find them, of course, online and see if you can help out. Maybe you can buy a box of Kleenex, or good luck finding toilet paper, man. That is just not happening right now. In national news, you guys ever heard of Sikhs? The Sikhs, it's a religion. The Sikhs, actually, Sikhism, if you don't know, it's a belief in Hinduism and Jainism. Uh, it's it's modified by the concept of God's grace. The body takes birth because of karma, but salvation is attained through grace. They believe in reincarnation. A lot of the concepts of Buddhism you'll find in Sikhism. Well, Sikhs in upstate New York have been preparing and packaging more than 30,000 home cooked meals for people that are in need right now. This is a good thing. This is a good, uplifting thing. These are for Americans in the coronavirus self-isolation. The Sikh community was approached by New York's mayor's office for food packages, and they were handed out to several distributing federal agencies in the area. Of course, strict food hygiene practices were carried out. Everybody's wearing face masks and gloves and the wraps and all that around their head. The only downside They're all vegetarian meals. So thanks for the free food. Unfortunately, it's all cauliflower and broccoli and rice and such. So, but beggars can't be choosers. But it's a good thing. It's a good thing that the Siwa, or service provided by Sikh volunteers, is a vegetarian meal comprising of dry fruits, rice, and lentils. Hey, if it's good enough for 3 billion Indians, it's good enough for the rest of the world, I would think. I would think New York would be happy about that. Uh, the meals were prepared on Sunday, packaged and loaded for delivery. Distribution started on Monday morning. And the volunteers have prepared the meals. Have all had a medical check. Everybody's healthy. And they're just doing a good thing for the people that really need it. I think that's nice. 99% of the meals and the people using the meals are Americans. The only Indians are those coming from overseas and students who are in isolation for 14 days or more. So it's good. It's good news. It's uplifting news. Mostly elderly are taking advantage of this. Mostly elderly, which, I mean, they need it the most. They get the sickest, easiest. And in local news, right here in Oregon, this is great news for people in Oregon, because I think marijuana is the national, or the state plant now. But marijuana retailers have given temporary permission to provide curbside delivery with COVID-19. So we're going back to the old days of heading out into the back alley and getting a little smoke on. So in Portland, the Oregon Liquor Control Commission temporarily approved a rule to allow marijuana dispensaries to conduct transactions outside within 150 feet of their store. So you could still go pick up a little bit of weed. This temporary measure aligns with the governor's executive order and helps businesses to remain open. Because if anything needs to stay open, it's the booze shops and the pot shops. Am I right? It's good news. It's uplifting news. The temporary rule also increases the amount of flour that OMMP card holders and caregivers can purchase to 24 ounces a day, no more than 32 ounces a month. Now, if you're going through 32 ounces of weed a month, God bless you. That's pretty damn amazing. Damn right, Jacob. I mean, I was a heavy smoker for years and years, but 32 ounces a month. My God. Your eyelids would be so heavy you could blindfold yourself with some dental floss. For crying out loud. By the way, if anybody needs some good weed, let me know. I got a ton of it. If anybody else has some good news out there, we'd love to hear it. Good news is always welcome on the upside. On the upside. On the upside. On the upside. Not everything in this life is full of shit. There's a few things that are pretty good. You can believe in it. Now we know that there's some silver lining. Even though a lot of people are out there fucking dying. Well, Kat, I know babysitting is tough. Good luck at work tomorrow. I don't know what you do, but obviously it must be essential. Must be essential. Because you have to have an essential job in order to go out and do work. My job apparently is not very essential. My job is just to bring a little bit of love and laughter to everybody. I don't know if you guys have been following my videos. I'm trying to put out content every day. And I certainly, YouTube, I really appreciate you, the subscriptions, and you, Instagram. Thank you so much for the followers. Facebook friends, man, appreciate you. I know a lot of you guys on in real life. Dirty Mike, welcome to the show. I've been drinking. So, listen, if you are on your computer right now, do me a favor, go over to YouTube, right? And subscribe to my channel and watch me over there as well. You can watch me on YouTube. You can watch me right here on Facebook. We're also live streaming right here on Instagram, and I really appreciate all the followers, all the love, sending their subscriptions. It's really nice because I'm trying to build up that base. I swear to God, this is so difficult. I don't understand what the magic ingredient with these viral fucking videos. I mean, honestly. I sit here and I produce videos and I do comedy and I record it and I chop them up and I try to throw them up there for people to enjoy and I get a few hundred likes and and then you get some Chewbacca mom putting on a Chewbacca mask in her minivan and going full retard for 3 minutes, laughing it up like some kind of crazy person, and 500 million views. Rita Wilson, Tom Hanks's wife, stuck in isolation from the coronavirus, from her hotel room in Australia, rapping, what was it? Hip Hop Hooray. 500 million fucking views. I do comedy for my dog, my adorable dog. 30. I don't mean to yell at the crowd. I know you guys are cool. You guys are the one helping me out. There we go. Everybody wants to see the dog. That's all they want to see. They just want to see it. Nobody wants to look at this face. We were talking about it last night. I've got a punchable face. Some people just want to punch this face. Can't help it. It was the face I was born with. I'm stuck to it. We're attached. We're going to watch a video. We are going to watch a video of a comedian friend of mine, Roman Guzman. I'm going to get canceled. Yeah, cancel me. Check my ratings. Right now, I got 1 viewer on Instagram and 1 viewer on YouTube. 2. Hi, you second viewer on YouTube. What up, Grundy? Fire, baby. Thank you so much for showing up. We're going to put a video on of my buddy Roman Guzman, who's a comedian out of Modesto, beautiful city of Modesto, beautiful city to be shot in. And we're going to watch his video here on YouTube. And we're going to do a little bit of critiquing. So this is Roman Guzman. Let's see what you think.
It's great to be here. My name is Roman Guzman. I do the morning show at a radio station in Modesto. It's called The River. It's on 105.5. And you're here, I don't think, unless you go to ARDR.com. We do hits, rock hits of the 60s, 70s, and 80s, which is great for me. It's the music I grew up with. I graduated in 85.
Picture in picture.
I was supposed to graduate in 85, but it's still the music that I grew up with. I don't relate to it as the way I used to, though. When I was in high school, all these great bands used to go see them all the time. It was a whole process. Somebody would come to town. My mom would always leave her purse on her desk, get some cash, go to the concert. We all had a great time. These days, it's a little different now. Like Bad Company. Great band, saw them a bunch of times. You remember Bad Company? I'm looking at this crowd. You remember Bad Company, right? Yeah, get after your love. I'm 51 now. Right around 9:30, quarter to 10. That's about enough. Get a little tired. Bring some of the love tomorrow night. Weekend's coming. Yeah, I used to like it when you shook me all night long. Now it just starts to hurt after a while. Big stain on the
All right, so we're about a minute 36 in, and we're finally getting our first comedy, our first laugh. Now Roman's got great stage presence. He's got a great voice, of course. He works in radio, and that helps out. He's also got a face for radio. He's a good looking dude, Roman Guzman. He's bringing the age humor, which is all right, taking us back to his time in the 80s and the music that he likes.
There's Jump for My Love and Run to You and Walk 500 Miles. It sounds like a lot of fucking work, man. And I prove my love just by sitting and bumping my chonies and eating nachos. At this age, I'm not doing all that shit. All these guys, they're like, man, back in the 80s, they're still out there. They're still touring, still doing their thing. Some of them, could probably hang it up. Remember Loverboy? Remember that Loverboy? Great band. Love the music. That lead singer, he's as big as I am now. He's still wearing those spandex pants, jumping around. I'm not loving every minute of that, but it's you got an age with the music, is what I'm trying to say. And now, of course, the old guy going, God, it's so loud. Is that what he's so loud? Why is it so loud? My wife is 20 years younger than I am.
That's true.
I don't have any jokes about that. I just like to say it out loud every chance I get. 20 years.
Now, the comedic line or the comic falling back on, I don't have any jokes about that. You know what? Write one. Write a joke about it. But he does kind of save himself by actually saying, I don't have any jokes about that. I just like to repeat it over and over again that he's got a wife 20 years younger than him. That in itself is a joke. So we'll go ahead and give him a pass on that one. That's pretty good.
Skinny little white girl. Me. I met her when she was 18. Don't judge me now. We didn't start dating when she was 18. She was like 18 and a half. When we finally started to go out, she was about 18 and a half. That's it. I'll let you know a little secret. Here's where I lose. Here's where I lose the crowd.
When did you have him?
If you're single and you can find a young lady with just the right amount of low self-esteem and daddy issues, you're a happy man. Your night. The rest of your life. Well, I might have found a young lady like that, but guess no, California. If you get to stop, keep going. You don't need that nonsense. Keep going. You think it's a series, turn the one around and come out.
These are all local jokes. You can find girls with daddy issues anywhere, though.
She embraces that. She's very smart. She's very smart. I grew up, if you know San Jose at all, I grew up in the Willow Glen area of San Jose. I don't think we had trailer parks in Willow Glen area. I didn't know anything about trailer parks, but I was in the movies. But she's from the trailer park. When I met her, when we got together, she moved in. First of all, if you're dating a girl from the trailer park to take her to your house, she's never leaving. So I'm kind of like, this is all right. I live here now, okay? That's all right. But she has knowledge that, for example, our pilot light was blown out of the house. We didn't have any hot water. You know who can come up with hot water on the stove and doing all this kind of things? Trailer Park Princess. She'll take care of it. She's no problem. We used to live with hot water. We don't have hot water. This is how we live now. No problem. If your power gets shut off and you need to steal it from your neighbor without them knowing, Trailer Park Princess knows how to make that happen. If you're in a situation where you need to move out of your apartment at 2 a.m. and not let the landlord know, she knows the people to get it done. She knows. She knows.
It's decent stuff. It's decent stuff. We'll give it to Roman on this one. It's good joke writing. It's clear and concise. Like I said, he's got a great stage presence and a funny guy. So if you want to look him up, it's Roman Guzman, Guzman. Thank you, Larry, for showing up. And give him a like, give him a view on YouTube. These views are important, you guys. These views really help because we put out this content as comedians, and all we want is feedback. We want to know that we're doing something good for the world, which is the only reason I brought to you the upside tonight, is just to say that hey, I appreciate everybody listening in. You know. It's not so bad. You know, these casts, they're not as easy as a lot of people make them look. Like, I've got nothing to say. I don't know. I have nothing to say. Just wanted to bring some uplifting news to you. That's all. Let you know that life is not so bad. There's good things happening. People are helping each other out. And you can do it too. You know somebody in your neighborhood that might need some groceries or get some gas, or maybe their dog needs walking and they can't get out. Go out and make me offer to do that. It's a little harder to do here in Oregon right now because it's friggin' raining again, as always. I'm so sick of this rain. This rain is awful. Terrible. Tired of the rain. But we keep putting the content out as best we can. I sure appreciate you joining me, even if it's just for a little bit every night, just to keep ourselves socialized and out there in the world, so that we don't go stir crazy completely. Anyway, probably going to sign off here because, like I said, other than there's hope and there's still goodness in this world and all is not lost, there's really not much else to tell you. Everybody's healthy here. We're keeping our hands washed. I'm trying not to touch my face as much as possible, but it's getting really jealous of my groin. Can't stop touching that, I'll tell you. Anyway. It's the upside, as opposed to the downside, which everybody wants to tell you. It's like people like to spread bad news. People that say, "Oh, I hate to be the bearer of bad news." No, they fucking love being the bearer of bad news. This sounds like Richard Marx, doesn't it? Everything I do sounds the same. It's all the same, 4 chords over and over again. Everything I sing is all predictable. You can make up the words by picking out the words from some intangible dictionary or some bullshit. Maybe I've been drinking a little bit too much tonight. This is really difficult without a I know, right? It's a slow dance in high school prom. That's what it is. This is really difficult to do without a group of people, you know? I'm used to the energy of a live comedy room, you know, where there's actually people there. That you get a response immediately. You can feel there's an energy, there's an electricity that comes with, you know, live events, and we're missing that right now. We're missing that live electricity that comes with going out and being next to people. You know, the sounds, the feeling, the smells, the there's an energy. There's an energy with it. And this digital world, man, it's crazy. It doesn't match. It's not the same. You need drugs. Drugs would help. It's probably why people take drugs. More drugs than I would take. I mean, not that I'm against drugs. Drugs are great. Yeah, drugs can be a lot of fun. I don't know, I can't handle it so much. It's electric boogie woogie woogie. I wish I was a good piano player. I'm sure that if I'd practiced more, I would be excellent. Embrace the digital. You damn millennials! It's all your fault. This coronavirus is going around anyway. You're out there on the beaches eating ass and sucking bats and all that shit. It's your fault. Blame you, kids. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is lame. This is, you know, it's like everything I've ever hated in my life. Just some asshole playing around on some stupid keyboard that has a drum track on it. Anyway, I was just testing out the waters tonight, trying to see if I could bring some good news to everybody. In spite of all the bad news, there's so much bad news. How do you get through it? I mean, you turn on the news and it's just all this negativity, blah 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 blah. Coronavirus kills citizens. Everybody's dying. More people are sick today. Didn't anybody save a puppy? Didn't we pull any children from a burning building? Or anything good to hear? Let's all sing a song about happy things. Maybe we could do it. We could all just sing about happiness. Let's sing about happiness. Let the world all talk about their crappiness. But you and I will sing about happiness. Let's sing about some happiness. Everybody else can have their little sadness. They can have their pity parties. They can play with their little shitty, little fitty farties and be all angry and be sad and listen to the news with their old man get mad. Oh, and get sad, 'cause everything's bad in the world, but we don't have to feel that way. No, we can be happy, you and me, if we sing about happiness. Happiness, not crappiness, just happiness. Yeah, let's sing. Let's sing about happiness. Let's get a puppy. Who the hell? Why do we need a puppy? We don't need another puppy. There's no room in this house for another puppy. Who are you? Gordon, who the fuck are you? Anyway. It's getting late. You should go to bed. I should go to bed. There's brownies in the kitchen and I just want to eat them. I'm afraid I'm just going to sit in my house and get fat during this whole thing. Grundy, I got to do something better with my life than just sit around and get fat during this quarantine. But there's plenty of whiskey. Could have sworn there was some weed in here too, but I don't know. You know, here's the thing. I've been clean for a while. I haven't been smoking. I was smoking heavily for a long time, and then I stopped. And I stopped on December 8th of last year. So we're coming up on damn near 4 months of not smoking, and it's weird. For those first 3 months, I was totally fine. I didn't even want it. But now I do. I don't know why. I don't know. Do you smoke? You smoke out there? I got a bunch of really good White Widow and Gorilla Glue sitting in my closet, just waiting. I want to, but I just can't bring it. I feel like I would ruin everything. It would ruin this whole little streak, you know? The PNN, the Positive News Network. Grundy, that's a great idea. We do need the PNN. We need the Positive News Network. We need uplifting, edifying news. They'll call it PEN. Positive, edifying news. PEN. PENN, the Positive, Edifying News Network. And that's what we're doing. We're bringing you positive, edifying news. People are helping. People are doing good things. It's not all doom and gloom. Been teaching my kids about the Constitution so that they know all about the rights that they're losing. Had to memorize the preamble. If you don't know what the preamble is, that is the we the people, of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, and provide for the common defense and all that good stuff. It's basically the answer why to why we have a constitution. Why do you have a constitution? Well, you have to have a certain law of the land, and we have to be able to back up, whatever moves we make, and shine it up against the light of our Constitution. And so the preamble is that. And so I've been having to memorize that. Been doing studies on it, and I'm having them read My Brother Sam is Dead. Did anybody ever read that? Did you read My Brother Sam is Dead? Fat and drunk and stoned. It's the apocalypse. It's okay. Hey, thanks, man. That's makes me feel better. We're getting there. We're halfway there. We got booze anyway. Yeah. Did anybody ever read that book? Did you read My Brother Sam is Dead? Is Dead? It's an interesting story. Right now, I'm reading American Ingrate, which is the story of Ilhan Omar, anti-Semite, who's a representative out of Minnesota. Got a big Muslim population in Minnesota, and she doesn't like the Jews. Not a big fan of the Jews. Doesn't like them. Which I don't know. I grew up with Jewish people. They're not so bad. Some of them are assholes, though. Mostly, my family. A lot of them are dicks. This is weird. This whole thing is weird. This whole quarantine and sitting inside, and comedy. In order to really get good comedy, you have to experience life. You have to go out and be a part of things, so that you can have your take on it. And sitting and milling about from one room to another in your house is not really experiencing life. There's not a lot to draw from there, because it gets to be mundane and pretty banal, really. Thank God I have good family, though, to experience it with. Got a good wife. All right, we got a new subscriber on YouTube. See, there's a good thing. That's a positive uplift. I think that's up to 250 now. I don't know. I used to, I think with comedy, I wanted fame. I used to want fame. I used to want to be famous. Until I saw what fame can do to people. No, we love you too, sweetie. Fame can be really dangerous, I mean, my God, you can't even go to the grocery store without being mobbed by people. Even in the small little circle of celebrity that I have, it can get really strange. I'll give you an example. One Christmas, I went to the local grocery store to pick up our annual prime rib. Well, we do enjoy prime rib for Christmas, I dare say. And the butcher took my order, and when he heard my voice, he recognized me from a radio show that I did. And so I gave him a business card, and I said, hey, take a look at my website, find out when my comedy dates are, and come to a show. You might have a lot of fun. 1:30 in the morning, I got a phone call. No, I got a text from this butcher saying, hey, I got something I need to talk to you about right now. And I'm thinking, you know what? Unless it's a recall of my meat, there's nothing we need to discuss at 1:30 in the morning. It can be a little scary because, when you do comedy and when you get on stage and you reveal these intimate details about your life, people make these connections to you. They take a piece of you home with them, but you don't take anything from them. Not that you don't want to, but you're not trading off stories. I'm going up and I'm entertaining you, and you may relate to these things. Hopefully, comedy's got to be relatable. Otherwise, it sucks. But when they take these and internalize them, suddenly they feel like there's a closeness. I mean, you ever watch somebody on TV and you feel like, man, I know that person. I know that person now because I watched them on television or I watched them, in a film. You don't. You don't know that person. You don't know what's going on in their lives. You don't know what's their personal struggles and issues and triumphs. And so the people that are looking for that approval from perfect strangers, you end up it becomes this it becomes almost like a poison because you don't want it after a while because you just want it on stage, and then when you get done, you just want to wash your hands of it and get away from it because there's a lot of intimacy that goes on with that. It can be scary because sometimes people can get really weird. I was reading the book Wired about John Belushi, and he was kind of a physical guy in comedy, and people would, uh, you know, they do physical stuff on the stage and or Saturday Night Live, or they fight and things like that, and people on the street would go up and just punch him because hey, I saw it on TV. I saw you could take it on TV. Uh, it's dangerous. You don't know each other. They don't know you. I don't want that. I want to be able to go to the grocery store and not get mobbed by people. But I still want that transaction that comes from being a comic with other people. That approval that I get by making somebody laugh. It's a weird trade-off. Thank you guys for sticking with me here on this stream. I'm so new at this. I really don't even know what I'm doing. I'm trying to hold it down on my own, but I don't have anything interesting to say. They noticed that on Instagram. He's not full of useful information. Like now, I know not to that I cannot buy more than 2 pounds of weed in the Oregon curbside dispensaries this month. Yeah, that's about it. It is weird having stalkers. I mean, I wouldn't say these people are actually stalkers, but yeah, it is scary to have somebody that follows you or knows intimate details about your life, and you know nothing about them. Oh, it is getting late, and I'm so boring. I'm boring myself. I don't know if this is helping me or hindering me. Maybe I don't know. I'm just not that interesting off the stage. Wish I was more interesting. There's a different persona when I'm on stage. It's something turns on, and I'm that person then, and I just want to give. I want to give everything I can in order to get that audience to like me. But there's a difference when you're sitting here and there's cameras pointing at you, and it's just me to hold it down. That's weird. It's not the same. Uh, it's not the same dynamic. I don't have anything to feed off of. Does that make sense? Anyway, it's probably time to wrap it up. It's getting late. I got nothing to say. I just wanted to share something uplifting with everybody. It's good news around the world. It's good news here in this garage. We're happy, we're healthy. None of you've got the coronavirus, I take it. Otherwise, you'd probably not be here watching this bullshit. Be out doing something more interesting, like dying. That's uplifting. Y'all hear that okay? It's a hard knock life, I guess. We have to admit we got it pretty easy here. Got it pretty easy in this world. Good night, you guys. Okay, good. It sounds good. Thank you, Aaron. It's nice to have good friends here. I'm gonna pop. You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some time. I thought I could take some time. Like I wrote down notes of what I wanted to talk about tonight, and I kind of breezed through those. I'm not technologically advanced. Obviously, I don't have the green screen behind me. my picture in picture is a damn tablet that I'm holding up to these screens here. But for those of you that stuck it out, I appreciate you. I appreciate you watching. Thank you, Instagram. Thank you, Facebook. What up, Randall? What up, YouTube? Grundy, you've been fun, man. Thanks a lot. Grundy is a supporter here on YouTube. And again, if you haven't gone to YouTube and subscribed to my channel, there's some good content that I'm putting out there. I promise you. Some of it's actually funny and good. And you can share it. Please share it. You know, let's get one of these things to go viral, for God's sakes. God, it's so ridiculous. You know, if I was a good-looking dude in a cowboy hat with a dog and a truck, I could get 600 million views. But just some fat dude in his garage that looks like a broke-ass version of Lost, some Hagrid from Harry Potter look-alike with a keyboard in front of him. 12 views. But Grundy, I think that's a great idea. The positive, edifying news information system. Penis. Come and watch Penis, everybody. It's dick pics for your soul. Got a little song about dick pics. Why, when I was a boy, we had all kinds of toys. But my favorite toy was my dick. I used to play with it all day, shape it any kind of weird way. I could find it lost in a bale of hay. But I never thought I'd ever wanna take my dick and snap a quick pic to send off to some chick. Because I grew up in the 80s and it wasn't that easy. I mean, you needed to have a Polaroid camera because you're not gonna get that shit developed. But now it's just so simple, easier than popping a pimple. You simply snap a pic of your dick and you send that dick pic. You email it or send it via message to some chick. She's got a pic of your dick. I feel like dick pics are kind of like dick pics are kind of like a cat's present, you know? You ever have a cat bring you a gift? Yeah, it's like some headless bird. You put it on your pillow. They're super proud of it. But you don't want to see that. And you certainly don't know what to do with it. That's what I imagine women are like when they get a dick pic. Just, no. Gross. But you're so proud of it, aren't you? Just your little headless bird. Thanks, everybody. Good night. Buddy, this is Alex Elkin coming to you live.